John Green. I know the promises I'm making though. God's promise. I got bitches on my dick, liquor on my breath, money on my mind, sucker niggas to my left. I wonder if these bum ass niggas give it a rest. They'll never reach the crest, a waste of time, my guess. Oh yes, a year later, 4 seasons older, my heart colder, creating ways of getting over. Shit's deep, it's crazy when they think your shit's weak. Tiger never loses sleep over thoughts of a sheep. They never thought I'd fucking be here. They hitched the wagon to a style of whom will always be there. Family. I got niggas pulling hammies, bitches dropping panties. I just popped another Zanny. Yo, it's like first they wanna wish me well, then they wanna kiss and tell. No one was around when I was hungry, having dizzy spells. I'm God's promise like Isabel. Keep your 2 cents, I'm not a wish well. Everything that I did ever since I was a kid seems to go against everything that I know now. I think I really need to slow down. Hey. And I look to the sky, but never ask why. I understand he has plans, but feel the need for me to know now. I think I really need to slow it down. Hey. And now my common law lover's about to be my baby's mother. Put a ring on the finger cause I really truly love her. Every rose got a couple of thorns. I ain't afraid to grab the bull by the horns. I resurrect through the birth of my seed. I promise he or she will be a better person than me. Cause I ain't got the heart like the Tin Man, the monkey around with the schmucks like a chimpan. When there was never my nigga, I'm mixing soft drinks and hard liquor and improvising. The everyday struggle is hypnotizing, so I spit into the eyes to make a blind man see, set him free. While these niggas ignore all of this, too busy digging up the past like an archaeologist. They just mad, they had promising careers. Shit wasn't there, so they shouldn't disappear. Like anything that I did ever since I was a kid seems to go against everything that I know now. I think I really need to slow down. Hey. And I look to the sky, but never ask why. I understand he has plans, but feel the need for me to know now. I think I really need to slow it down. Hey. Yeah. Some shit I'm going through. Gotta clear my head, my mind's cloudy like an overcast. Niggas say my name and dap me up as if I know the ass. To me, Terminal C seems so foreign. The fuck I'm doing here this early in the morning? Yawning, I recalling bits from last night, got myself laid. Finally smashed the broad I wanted to fuck since the 12th grade. Stuck in the moment before I let the thought fade. It was alright and I ain't saying that she got played. Nah. But now she wanna send them naked pictures. I won't be satisfied until I fuck Havana Ginger or any girl I ever dreamed of. Until I get what I want, I'll just act like I don't need love. For real. To escape, waiting for a flight, and I just wanna start my new life. I know I took a chance and I paid the price, but I don't wanna hear your advice. I just wanna forget everything and let my mind flee instead of you telling me what I gotta see. Cause it's like you want me to be something I don't wanna be. Yeah. I gotta clear my head of this relationship be over fast. Bridging the gap between us is like an overpass. At gate C14 back to Florida. In my absence it seems to stop calling her. Never forgot, took time to get my mind right. I just thought I need to go book my flight. To get away was so liberating. Wonder when I keep running, huh? What are you insinuating? You got me mixed up, babe, like a spin cycle. Nothing like your past because there's only one Quinn Michael. You're the woman I always dreamed of. Until I get what I want, I just act like I don't need love. For real. To escape, waiting for a flight, and I just wanna stop my new Niggas talking love a mess. Niggas tripping, be my guest. They all act like I was less. Did more for them than they attest. I'm a beast, I beat my chest. Beat you down, I beat the rest. They just mad, they be depressed. I'm about to fucking flex. After me, nobody next. Running lap, nobody stretch. Overlapping niggas best. I'm bugging out, I be's a pest. I can't feel I breathe success. I can feel you'll be impressed. There's so much to be addressed. Why should I when I am blessed? Good enough ain't good enough when good enough to be better. Yeah, I'd rather be the best when y'all be good enough together. Everybody wants smoke until they get the smoke. That simple. Fuck around and get smoked in.
Hello.
What's going on, everybody? What's going on? What's good?
Not much.
Thank you, everybody, for joining tonight. We appreciate it. As always. What up, fellas? We here again. Let's get it. We are Recipe for Intentionality. We are back for another cook up. We got a special one tonight. Great one tonight, fellas. This is our 14th episode.
14th. Yes, sir.
Crazy. We're knocking them down. So you already know the rundown. You know, we appreciate all the love and support. This is a platform to promote everyday people, the small business owner, entrepreneur, independent artist. We are here to create more visibility to your brand, promote your brand, bring more traffic to your business, music, etc. We are intentional in adding the most value to you and your business the best way that we can. So let's talk about your recipe to success. We got a special one tonight, fellas. Let's get into it.
Yeah, we do. Let's get into it.
Yes, sir. All right. Our guest is a speaker and author of Sustainable Excellence, 10 Principles.
Freezing up.
In career, he corporate America. Part was you here?
Hey, Ralph.
He was also a former high school basketball.
I don't think you can.
I'm frozen.
Yeah.
Breaking up a little bit.
Hold on a second.
Can you redo the intro?
Yeah. Good.
Okay. Yeah, you better.
Y'all good now?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ralph, yes. Oof.
Technical difficulties.
This is the first time, too.
All right.
Yeah.
You want me to go ahead?
You gonna do this now? Yeah, just go ahead.
Yeah. So our guest is a motivational speaker and author of Sustainable Excellence, 10 Principles to Leading Your Uncommon and Extraordinary Life. He has reinvented himself frequently over his professional career. He has worked in corporate America, the police department, and was also a former high school basketball coach. His greatest challenge began in early 2012 when he was diagnosed with a rare form of cancer called, you got to help me out with this one, Terry.
Yeah, you need to know Latin for this. It's Acral Lentiginous Melanoma.
Right, there you go. This is a rare cancer. About 6,500 people are diagnosed with this form of malignancy in the U.S. each year. He wrote his book to help people find and live their purpose. His cancer experience has not ended, unfortunately. The melanoma that had plagued him for over 6 years returned in 2017 with numerous health conditions. However, he refused to be a victim of malignancy. I can't pronounce that word. I'm sorry about that, y'all. He vowed to continue his fight. He knew the only way cancer could win is if he gave up or gave in to the disease or it killed him. We are honored and grateful to welcome the resilient Terry Tucker to our podcast.
Hey.
Thank you very much. I'm very excited to be here with you guys tonight.
We appreciate you coming on. Sorry for the technical difficulties already. Okay. Off top. We appreciate your patience. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, everybody. Good job, so for the intro. My bad, man.
Oh yeah,
You
man.
held it down.
Gotta jump in and keep it moving.
Oh yeah,
Exactly.
definitely appreciate that. Yep. All right, Terry, let's get into it if you don't mind. So tell us about your early career endeavors. You know, you were in the police department in corporate America. You coached basketball. Just tell us, a little bit about that and about coaching basketball because we basketball fans. So I see you have a love for basketball. Also looks like because you played also. So
I did. I was actually born and raised in Chicago. You can't tell this by looking at me, but I'm 6'8" tall, and played college basketball at the Citadel despite having 3 knee surgeries. I've got a brother that's 6'7" that was a pitcher for the University of Notre Dame, and another brother who was 6'6" who was drafted by the Cleveland Cavaliers in the NBA.
Okay.
And then my dad was 6'5". So I kind of joke that if you sat behind our family in church growing up, there wasn't a prayer's chance you were going to see anything that was going on, in front of the church. But, our 5'8" mother was the boss. Didn't matter how big, strong, tall we were, whatever mom said goes. Whenever she was around, mostly she was running to the grocery store to buy more milk for us and all that stuff.
Definitely.
So, yeah. So when I graduated from college, I moved home to find a job. I'm really going to date myself now. This was long before the internet was available. And I was all set, to make my mark on the world with my newly obtained business administration degree. And I look back now, what a knucklehead I was to think I knew anything about business just because I had a degree. Fortunately, I was able to find that first job in the corporate headquarters of Wendy's International, the hamburger chain, in their marketing department. But unfortunately, I ended up living with my parents for the next 3.5 years as I helped my mom care for my grandmother and my father, who were both dying of different forms of cancer. You talked a little bit about my professional career, so I won't go into that. And I guess I'll just end this with my wife and I have been married for 28 years. We have one child, a daughter, who's a graduate of the United States Air Force Academy and is an officer in the new branch of the military, the Space Force.
Oh,
nice.
that's awesome.
Congrats.
That's nice.
It's big time.
Yeah, we're pretty proud of her.
Yeah, definitely. Proud dad. Proud dad moment. Nice.
Absolutely.
Dope. Definitely.
So Terry, what's the best experience you have when it came to either corporate America, coaching basketball, or even the police department? So, like, what do you think was like the best part of it?
Yeah, I'll give you a story about basketball, playing college basketball. So, it was really kind of unfair, but I was extremely lucky on this one weekend. Every year they used to play the North-South doubleheader in the Charlotte Coliseum. And they take 2 teams from North Carolina, which was North Carolina and North Carolina State, and of course 2 lesser teams from South Carolina, which were my school, the Citadel and Furman. And we played in a round robin Friday, Saturday night. So this was 1982, Michael Jordan's freshman year in college. And it was also the year that he won the national championship. And so Friday night, I get to play against Jordan. Saturday night, I get to play against Jim Valvano and his North Carolina State team, who won the national championship the following year in 1983. So during the course of one weekend, I had the opportunity to play against 2 national championship teams. So fast forward probably 15, 18 years, my brother, the one who pitched for Notre Dame, is a high school basketball coach in Chicago at Loyola Academy, and he is coaching Michael Jordan's 2 sons. So one day he's at practice and he's trying to teach the kids a play, and it's toward the end of practice, and he looks up, nobody's paying attention to him. So he looks where they're looking, he looks over at the door, and Jordan had come into the gym. Yeah, as a parent, to pick up his kids after practice and take them home, not as a basketball player or anything. And so my brother looks at him and says, hey, Michael, you're a little bit of a distraction. Would you mind stepping out in the hall until practice is over? And Jordan and his wife were just absolutely cool. They never tried to, helicopter coach or anything like that. And he's like, sure, coach, no problem. I'm sorry for the distraction. I'll wait in the hall until practice is over. And my brother thought later, he said, I'm probably the only coach in the history of basketball that's ever kicked Michael Jordan out of practice.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, he coached both sons. Wow.
Yeah, coached both of them. It's been to his house, the whole 9 yards. So it was a great experience, great opportunity for him.
What position did you play in basketball? Were you a center?
I was actually a forward until our center got in foul trouble, which he did often.
Oh,
So
then you became the center.
yeah, and then I became the center. And I mean, you know, at 6'8", you know, you're
Yeah.
going up against guys that are 6'10", 6'11", 7 feet, and you know.
Yeah.
I wasn't that quick.
Yeah.
I had 3 knee surgeries in high school, so you
Oh,
know,
got you.
speed was
Yeah.
not my
Right. Got you. Well, that's an amazing story. We appreciate
That is a
that.
cool story.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Yep.
And so
Definitely.
Terry, in 2012, tell us your mindset when you first heard the diagnosis that you had cancer. Did you have a positive mindset about everything?
I don't think initially, you know, I was a girls' high school basketball coach down in Texas, and I just had a small callus break open on the bottom of my foot, right below my third toe. And you know, being a coach, you're on your feet a lot during the day, and I didn't give it a lot of thought initially. But after a couple of weeks, when it didn't heal, I went to see a podiatrist, a foot doctor, friend of mine, and he took an X-ray, and he's like, you know, I think you had a little cyst in here, and I can cut it out. And he did, and he showed it to me. It was just a little gelatin sac with some white fat in it. No blood, no dark spots, nothing that would give anybody concern. But he sent it off to pathology. And then 2 weeks later, I get the call from him. And as I said, he was a friend. The more difficulty he was having telling me, obviously, the more scared I was becoming. So he just kind of laid it out. He said, you know, Terry, I've been a doctor for 25 years. I've never seen this form of cancer. You have a rare form of melanoma that is usually, you know, a skin disease. You're out in the sun too much or something like that. But there's a rare form that appears on the palm of your hands or the bottom of your feet. And that's the form I had. And he recommended I go to MD Anderson down in Houston to be treated. And, you know, I had done everything right in my life. You know, I'd eaten well, I'd exercised, I didn't abuse drugs and alcohol. I mean, I did. So I had a physical every year from my doctor, did everything that you're told to do. And I had this, you know, rare form of cancer. I mean, to answer your question, you know, my emotions kind of ran the gamut. I was mad, you know, I was depressed, I was scared, I was, you name it. And, you know, eventually I just got to the point where I realized these are the cards that I've been dealt, and I can play, you know, I have to play them. I mean, we're all going to experience pain in our lives, and it doesn't have to be cancer pain like mine. I mean, you can flunk a test at school or break up with your boyfriend or your girlfriend or not get the promotion at work that you think you deserve. Pain is inevitable. Suffering, on the other hand, suffering is optional. Suffering is what you do with that pain. Do you use it to make you stronger, to make you tougher, to make you more determined? Or do you, you know, kind of wallow in it and, you know, want people to feel sorry for you and feel sorry for yourself? I want your audience to understand, first of all, I mean, there's no S on my chest. I do not wear a cape, you know, fly around with magic powers or anything like that. Right. I have bad days too. You know, there are days that I cry. There are days that I get down. There are days that I feel depressed. I just don't let myself stay there.
There you go.
That's great.
That's amazing. Yeah, it's great advice. So it just something that just was a callus, you said, just turned into that. It's rare. So it's very
rare. I mean, a couple summers ago, I had all 88 genes that either doctors know cause all different kinds of cancer or suspect cause different kinds of cancer. Had genetic testing of all 88 of those genes, and I have no mutations in any gene at all, which kind of begs the question, why did I get this cancer? And my doctor's like, I don't know. I mean, I don't spend a lot of time worrying about it. I mean, I got it. So,
yeah, definitely. Yep, definitely. So one thing you learned during all your pain was, you know, suffering is what, you know, you have two choices, you know, while you suffer, you can succumb to the debilitating discomfort and misery, or you can learn to embrace it and use it to make you stronger or a better human being. You chose a latter. Like, why? Like, how did you remain strong during like a time of, you know, I guess you can say uncertainty? Like, you know, when most people get that kind of news, like, you know, like you said, you went through the emotions. How did you come to a place where you controlled your mind to be stronger and, you know, just overcome the uncertainty, you know, at the time?
Yeah, it certainly wasn't something that I think, you know, bang, it happened. I guess over these last 9 years, I've developed what I call my 4 truths. And I'll give them to you. They're, if I'm looking down, they're on a Post-it note that I have here sitting on my desk. And I see them multiple times every day. And they're just one sentence each. And the first one is, and it kind of goes to the answer to your question, you need to control your mind or your mind will control you. And the second one is you need to embrace the pain and the difficulty that we all experience in life and use that to make you a stronger and more determined individual. The third one is, for lack of a better word, a legacy truth. And it's this: what you leave behind is what you weave in the hearts of other people. And then the fourth one, pretty self-explanatory: as long as you don't quit, you can never be defeated. And so I use these truths, to kind of guide my life. I use them with what I call also the 3 F's, which are faith, family, and friends. And those have gotten me through this. And, if you think about it, our brains are hardwired to avoid pain and discomfort and to seek pleasure. And it's foreign to us, as I said, number 2, to embrace that pain. We want to get away from it. I mean, some people get away from it, way too much alcohol, too much drugs, that kind of stuff. But what if instead of running from it, you took it and flipped it inside and burned it as fuel or used it as energy to make you a stronger person? And that's what I've come to do. I had my leg amputated my foot amputated in 2018, and my leg amputated in 2020. And it's like, okay, yeah, this sucks, but I'm just going to use it to make me a better person.
Wow. That's amazing. Because most people, it's hard to come to that realization and just being strong like that. Was there like a certain moment where you started, to control your mind or anything? Or was there a moment where you were going through it, like, I got to just change my mindset or anything? Or
I think it's sort of come over these last 9 years. I'm not going to say, when I was in high school, I mentioned I had 3 knee surgeries. And I remember when I came back playing from that, I remember my mind was like, hey, you're probably a step slower and coaches aren't going to want to recruit you to play in college. And I think the first thing, I've also read articles that said, we get 60 to 70,000 thoughts in our brain every day. So to be cognizant of, hey, that's a negative thought that just came in here. I got to do something with that. And I was like, wait a minute, I'm still playing at an elite level and coaches are still contacting me, to play in college. So no, wait a minute, I got to flip that narrative. I got to flip that around to something positive. And it's not easy and it's not going to happen overnight where you're just going to be, okay, all of a sudden I'm positive now. That's definitely not the case. But I remember 2 quick stories. One, there was a professor back in the 1950s at Johns Hopkins University who conducted this experiment. He took rats and he put them in water that was over their head. And he wanted to see how long they'd tread water before, they sank and were going to drown. And just before they did that, he grabbed the rat, pulled it out, dried it off, and let it rest for a while. And it was about 15 minutes for most rats before they sunk. And then he put them back in the tank. And the rats, almost to a rat, treaded water for 60 more hours. Think about that. First time, 15 minutes. That's all I can do. 15 minutes, boom, I'm going to sink. Second time, 60 hours, which to me reminded me of 2 things. One, the importance of hope, the importance of knowing that, hey, I got to have hope. I've got to have, the thought of something better happening for me. And 2, also the understanding of how much more our bodies can do, how much more capable our bodies are. The Navy SEALs talk about their 40% rule. Where if you don't think you can run another step or do another push-up, you're only at 40% of your maximum. You still have 60% left to give to yourself. And the more I realize that, the more I realize I can handle so much more than what I think I can.
Wow, that's amazing.
It is.
Amazing mindset.
It is.
Thank you for sharing that.
Sure.
Definitely. Appreciate that. Thank you.
So Terry, with your book, Sustainable Excellence and 10 Principles of Leading an Uncommon and Extraordinary Life, Tell us the process of writing it and just any information on the book itself.
Sure. So the book is really born out of two conversations I had. One was with a former player that I coached in high school who moved to Colorado with her fiance, and my wife and I had dinner with them. And I remember saying to her one night, I'm really excited that you're living close and I can watch you find and live your purpose. And she got real quiet for a while. And she kind of looked at me and she's like, well, Coach, what do you think my purpose is? So I have no idea what your purpose is, but that's what your life should be about, finding the reason you were put on this earth and then living that reason. So that was one conversation. And then I had a conversation with a young man in college, and he asked me what I thought were the most important things that he should know to not just be successful in his job or in business, but in life overall. And I didn't want to give him the, get up early, work hard, help others kind of stuff. Not that those aren't important. They are. They're incredibly important. But I thought they'd been done. So I wanted to maybe give him something a little bit different. And so I thought about it for a while, wrote down some notes, and eventually I had these 10 thoughts, these 10 principles, and I sent them to him. And then I kind of stepped back and I was like, I got a life story that fits under this principle, or I know somebody whose life emulates that principle. So I had my leg amputated in April of 2020, started chemotherapy for the tumors in my lungs in June of 2020. So during that 3-month period that I was healing, I just sat down at the computer every day and started to build stories underneath each one of those principles. And that's how Sustainable Excellence, the 10 Principles to Leading Your Uncommon and Extraordinary Life, came about.
Nice.
That's great.
Awesome.
Yeah, you took your experiences and just put it under the principles or purposes that you jotted down. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, a lot of it is mine, but like I said, some of it were other people that I knew that I thought, this will make a good story and things like that. So it was sort of a collection of things I've learned or things I've experienced over, I won't tell you how old I am, years. So
Got you, definitely. Nice.
So Terry, you're a public speaker, you have a book. What has helped you to be forthcoming about your journey and struggles? And how do you remain selfless going through everything you go through or you've been through?
That's a great question. And I think a lot of it for me goes back to how lucky I was to play team sports when I was growing up. Because I think you learn when you're playing team sports that if you don't do your job, not only do you let yourself down, you let your teammates down, your coaches down, your fans down, your parents down, et cetera. And I'm going through this clinical trial drug right now that I'm on for the tumors in my lungs. And yes, I'd be lying to you if I told you that I didn't want this to benefit me. And it has somewhat. It's not going to cure me, but it has somewhat. But the thing I think that's more important, at least to me, is the understanding that this is something that's bigger than me, and if you think about it, the biggest life or the biggest team sport that we all play is the game of life. And if you realize that it's really not just about you, it's about us, it's about all of us together that are going to make a difference. Because, individually, as you know, in team sports, you don't. You can't put one person out on the court and expect, I love Krzyzewski's, Coach K's thought about the fist, 5 players on a basketball team, individually weak, but together they make a fist strong. Right. I love that analogy. So, this has just been something bigger than me, and I hope this helps me. And as I said, it has. Not going to cure me, but maybe what the doctors are going to glean from my blood tests, my scans, and all that kind of stuff is something that maybe they can produce a drug that 5 years from now, 10 years from now, when I'm probably going to be dead, is going to help somebody else. And that to me is as important as the drug trying to help me individually.
Yeah, it's amazing. That's amazing mindset to. That's like your legacy that you leave behind. Maybe it can help others. That's really being selfless at a time like nowadays. People, you know how people are nowadays. But Yeah, that's amazing. Um, you're from Chicago, so you're a Bulls fan, right?
I am a Bulls fan.
Okay, nice. Currently, or
I'm not a fair weather fan. Yes, currently on up or down,
okay,
I'll be
up
a
or down.
Bulls fan.
All
Nice,
right.
nice. Yeah. We're from Chicago also, so
Oh, cool.
yeah.
Nice.
Myself and Zoe. So yeah,
Outstanding.
definitely.
Your whole
Yep.
life? You've been there, both of your whole life? Born and raised?
Yeah, born and raised, but I moved from Chicago. It's too cold. I had to get some hot weather. I couldn't
It
take
is
it.
cold.
Yeah.
I tell
cold.
you, you should come to Colorado because,
Oh.
I totally agree with you. When winter sets in the Midwest, I don't care where you are, it's cold, it's ugly, it's gray. But Colorado, especially Denver, it's like we could get 25 inches of snow one day and the next day it'll be sunny and 50. So,
Wow.
it's not like
Changes like that.
Chicago where it's just gloomy all winter.
Yeah.
It's a lot nicer. Plus, you're right in the Rocky Mountains and all that kind of stuff. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I've always wanted to visit Denver, but I've heard about the what you call it, the air.
You're a mile high up there. Yeah.
Yeah, the Mile High. Yeah. So
It is, and it's both of my brothers and my mom are still in Chicago, and
Nice.
when they come here, it's definitely
yeah,
the altitude. It takes a while to get used to.
altitude.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I have a lot more red blood cells than you guys do, so I mean that's always good. So
Yeah, definitely. Nice. So yeah. Hopefully, maybe soon I'll check it out. I don't know.
that'd be great.
Like during summertime.
Summertime's beautiful, except for the California wildfire smoke that seems to kind of walk its way across the state.
Oh yeah, it does. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Definitely. So you kind of already touched on it. In a 2017, you endured most of the more serious health issues and everything, and you kind of touched on how you were able to adjust your life and your mind during this time. So for someone that's going through some struggles, like what's your I guess your advice for them to control their mind? Do you do it gradually, just don't even think about it, just get to that place, or what's your mindset about that?
I think we talked a little bit about it earlier. You first of all, you have to recognize that you've got those negative thoughts coming in, and then you have to you flip the switch. You change the narrative to something positive, and if you do that over time, eventually your mind will start feeding you good stuff. And I always tell young people, especially, if there's something in your heart, something in your soul that you want to do, but it scares you, go ahead and do it. Because at the end of your life, the things you're going to regret are not going to be the things you did. They're going to be the things you didn't do, and by then it's going to be too late to go back and do those kind of things. So, you need to understand that, again, going back to our brains being hardwired to avoid pain and discomfort and to seek pleasure, that's just a defense mechanism. That's your brain. I mean, that would be like Zoe saying, all right, I'm going to get up this morning and go skydiving. I mean, Zoe's brain would be like, whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Parachute may not open.
I was thinking that.
Plane might crash.
Yeah.
It would be like your brain starts putting all this stuff into your thoughts. And you need to control that because the brain likes the status quo. Status quo is good. Don't mess with it.
Yeah.
But the problem is the only way we're going to grow is to get outside that status quo, to do things that scare you. And if you do that, I promise you, at the end of your life, you're going to have a whole lot more peace and a whole lot more happiness if you just get outside your comfort zone. That the discussion with my player that I talked about with the book kind of went on further, and I told her about Colonel Sanders, the man who started Kentucky Fried Chicken. And I said, he started that business after he retired. He was in his 60s. I don't know if that was his purpose or not. I'm going to assume that it was. But can you imagine if he was in his 40s? He was like, nope, done. Don't want to keep going. Don't want to keep moving forward. I'm happy the way I am. It's kind of the old Shawshank Redemption, quote: "Get busy living or get busy dying." And I told her, I said, you know, I mean, I love Kentucky Fried Chicken, so it's kind of like, can you imagine if he didn't start that business, if he just, you know, said, hey.
Yep.
So I said, you know, don't get excited if you haven't found your purpose, you know, if you're in your 30s or your 40s or your 50s. And the other thing I told her, and I think is important, is a lot of times we talk about our purpose as our job. Purpose doesn't have to be your job. I mean, your job could be over here, what you do to make money, but you know, your purpose is you write or you play music or whatever you end up doing, but that's really your purpose. So don't think your purpose has to be your job.
That's a gem right there. You know, because you know, because nowadays purpose is like, oh, I have to be doing that verbatim or something like that. But like you said, you can do other things, and that can be your purpose. You can do it like at the same time, really, if you have to.
Right.
Yeah, that's amazing. Two things, like right before you said it, I was thinking like, man, I wouldn't skydive. I was thinking that I wouldn't skydive, like, because like, I think okay, cool. Yeah, because it's like if I jump out the plane, I'm gonna pass out. Well, I'm gonna pass out before I jump out the plane. Like while I'm in, you know how you like you wait, I'll pass out. Yeah. So I couldn't even wait. I just go.
I couldn't do it either.
Zoe wouldn't pass out.
No, listen, I wouldn't do it. But if my bros came with me and they went first, then I would, you know, I'd go.
Oh, we got to go first.
Y'all got to go first.
I said like,
he's like, you guys go first. I'll see how that goes. You know.
See.
I hate heights, but I feel like if I went and did it, I'm pretty sure I'd enjoy it. And I'd be like, damn, it's not that bad. That's how I look at it. I don't want to because I hate heights, but I'm pretty sure it looks like it's fun. It does. It looks like it's fun.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It do look like it's fun if you're not passed out. I know I would be passed out though, because like I see, you know, see videos, people like, oh yeah, cool, but I will be passed out. I'm telling you, I just know me, because I don't like heights either. You know what I mean?
So if we go, I'll go first. I'll go first.
Okay.
You gotta definitely go.
All right.
If we all go, I'll jump.
All right, Terry.
I have to
I want to hear about this. You guys do this. I want to hear about it.
Okay, cool. So Quinn's going first, then Zoe, and then
nope.
You next, bro.
I'm gonna have my drone and seeing y'all up there. I'm not gonna. I was gonna do it. Oh no. I'm gonna just watch y'all up there. I ain't getting up there, man. Have you guys seen the the restaurant in Dubai that's all the way up in the air where you you seen that? Yeah. Would you guys do that? Anybody do that? No.
I don't care how good the food is. You know?
Exactly.
I haven't seen it. Like, is your feet dangling in the air or something? Like,
no, it's like on like glass or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like a platform.
Quick story. I remember when I went out to Chicago back. I can't remember the year that I went out there. Remember when you got sick, Ralph? Right? Your cousin took me. I don't even think it's called the Sears Tower anymore, is it? They changed the name, right? Okay, so he took me there, and you stand out on this thing, right? And I hate heights. I don't know why I'm doing this inside. I'm like freaking out, but on the outside, I try to be like cool about it. When I got off it, I was like, what was I thinking, right? You know, just standing out there, you know, it felt like I was just dropping to the street. It hurt, but
see, that's what's up. I'm from there. I never did that. I don't know about you, Terry. Yeah. So I never.
I have done that. I have done that. Yes.
Okay. I was just like, nah, I'm cool, because
hey, you can do that at the Grand Canyon too. You know, you can kind of get on the glass out over the canyon. I'm not doing that. But, you know.
Yeah, I would go there.
I can do that one.
No, I can't do that one. Nah. Well, I mean, but like Terry's saying, you got to get out of your comfort zone.
Exactly.
So
yeah, got to get out of comfort zone.
That's the only way you'll grow. But yeah,
but not through skydiving.
Like
nope.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Nah, anything else. Well, that's like with anything. You gotta do it first, though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you're gonna enjoy it. Like, man, I did that.
I think Quinn's ready. I think Quinn. You can tell his mind's going. It's like, yeah, I'm liking this.
But look, Quinn. You know he in the army, man. So you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm saying he
that little airborne patch on your, there you go.
Yeah.
It's only 5 jumps. You'll be good.
Right, he'll do something like that. So you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely.
I don't know.
I never signed up for airborne though. I mean, I could have.
Not too late.
Yeah.
Not too late.
And it's not. I don't know.
It's not
They
too
jump
late.
at night sometimes, so I'm good.
At night.
Yeah.
Nah,
They do night jumps too. Yeah, that's a whole different monster, so I'm good.
Yeah. Quinn, get out your comfort zone, bro.
Nah, that's not it.
He said it ain't it. I know, I feel you, bro. Yeah, I feel you.
I don't want to get off topic or anything, but
yeah, sorry about that.
We talked about the 4 truths already. So what's next for you? Like, what do you like? What's the next thing you're gonna do?
So I'm thinking about a second book. To be honest with you,
Nice.
I liked Sustainable Excellence, but I think it's a book about success. How we can be successful. I think I'd like my next book to be about another word that begins with S, and that's significant. Success is what we do for us. Significance is what we do for other people. I think you can do both. That you be successful and significant. But I'm thinking that potentially I'd like to write a second book that focused more on significance and less on success. So that may happen. That may not happen. I don't know how much longer I have, but you know what? I got right now. So we'll keep muddling forward and see what happens.
There you go.
Yeah, definitely
That's great.
Yeah, that would be. Yeah, that's great. If writing that would be great. Definitely, you should do that. Everybody can check it out, and definitely. And let's not talk about that. Let's, like you said, we're here now, so we're gonna be here for a minute. So
hey, that's what I always say. I don't worry about when I die. Way above my pay grade. I don't get
right.
money to worry about that.
Right, definitely. Real talk. That's a good way to look at it. Definitely. I never heard that. That's dope. That's dope.
So Terry, it seems like you've reinvented yourself. Like you worked for Wendy's, SWAT, corporate America, coach. You got a book out, public speaker. What's your proudest accomplishment so far?
Without a doubt, my 28-year marriage to my wife and our daughter.
Okay.
I mean. I know that sounds like the thing you're supposed to say, but it really is. Yeah. I mean, if my parents taught us anything, and they taught us a lot, it's the importance of family, and I mean, I saw my mom and dad so many times do, divide and conquer, okay, I'm going with this kid to this game and you're going with that kid to that game, and I remember my dad was very sick when I graduated from college. He was dying of cancer. And my youngest brother was in high school, and I was living at home helping my mom care for my dad, and my grandmother. And I remember one night, I mean, I'm working, I got my own job. I'm like, okay. I told my dad, I said, my brother had a basketball game. I'm like, I'm not going to the game. I'm going to go work out. And my dad looked at me like, what? No, you're not. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm an adult. No, I'm going to go work out after the game. Or after work, I'm going to go work out. You guys go to the game. Guess who ended up going to the game?
Yeah.
I mean, you support each other. I mean, you guys know. I mean, it's family. You take care of each other. You support each other, and that's what I did. And that was what's important and has always been incredibly important to me.
Nice. Wow, married to the wife. Okay. Nice. Dope. Okay.
You hear that, hon? Okay.
Miss Tucker, you hear that? Right? Nice. All right, so fellas out there. No, I ain't gonna say nothing. You know what I'm saying? Fellas out there, you hear that? No, I don't know. I'm just
happy life. No.
Yeah, that's the saying, right?
Happy wife, happy life.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
I keep my wife. As long as she's happy, I'm good. Like, you know.
Yeah.
Smooth
Well, you know,
sailing.
and I always tell the story because if you look at my resume, my first 2 jobs were in corporate America, so to speak. Suit and tie kind of thing. And here I am. My wife and I have been married a couple years. We're living out in California, and one night at dinner, it's like, hon, I'd kind of like to be a policeman. I'd like to work nights and weekends and get shot at and do things. What do you think about that? That would be a lot of fun, don't you think? And she was incredibly supportive of me. And I got out of law enforcement because she lost her job. I was a policeman in Cincinnati, Ohio, and she lost her job. And we moved to Texas. And so that was my way of supporting her. And, I knew a lot of policemen that had been policemen for 35, 40 years, and their identity was tied to that gun and that badge. And as much as, I loved being a policeman, it wasn't who I was. And I knew I could do something else. And so, I took my SWAT training and my education and things like that and started my own business doing, consulting with schools for security.
Nice.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
Nice. Okay.
Cincy,
Yeah.
huh? That was Ohio. The Wendy's you worked at, that was in Columbus.
Yeah, it was in Dublin. It's a suburb of Columbus.
I lived out there for 5 years. Yeah, I used to live in Westerville.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We lived in Worthington.
Yep. Know where that is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. I went out there to visit Zoe one time, and it was pretty cool out there. Where did we go to? That downtown? It was like a small downtown.
Yeah. We went on a high street, something like that.
Yeah.
I like Columbus. It's decent. It's nice.
Columbus is a nice town for a state capital that really does all they've got. Not all they've got, but Ohio State is pretty much it. Unless you're a hockey fan and you like the Blue Jackets, they don't have any professional sports. Cleveland and Cincinnati have the professional teams, but yeah, Columbus was a nice town.
It was crazy because being from Chicago, we got all these sports and stuff. So when OSU would play, I'm talking the city was shut down. It was
people live and
silver
die.
And everywhere. A city shut down.
Scarlet and gray. People bleed
scarlet and gray. Yeah, there you go.
They shut down.
Shut down.
Yeah.
Dang. I didn't know that.
You put 104,000. I think the game against Oregon this weekend, they had 104,000 people in the stadium.
Yeah.
They lost too, right?
They lost.
They lost.
Right.
They lost. That was an upset.
Oregon came and spanked them. Yeah.
It's hard to lose the game when you have 600 yards of offense. You still lose the game.
They defenses
don't have defense. Yeah.
Yeah, atrocious. Man, OSU. Okay. Yep. Okay, that's what's up. So we kind of talked about it. So you've helped others through your journey. And you mentioned 2 people. You mentioned the two individuals that you coached, that you gave them the 10 purpose. Your 10 principles. Yep. But is there a experience or story or a person that you have helped out that sticks with you, just something that sticks with you that you always remember, or just just a person or a story or experience that outside of your story and everything that you're going through, but something that sticks with you, internally or anything like that?
I could probably spend the next 4 hours, and I know you guys don't want me to do that, so I'll just narrow it down to one story. When I was in high school, I was recruited by Coach K when he was in Army. And I obviously didn't go to Army, but, he was in our living room and, the whole 9 yards. So our daughter is born. I'm a policeman. Duke plays Connecticut for the national championship. Duke loses. I can't remember what year this was, 98, 99, 90, something like that. And I recorded it because I was working nights. So I recorded the game and came home. And our daughter was born in March, and it didn't get any better than that. I got my daughter on my arm here and I got a clicker in this hand and, we're watching the games. It's like, I could have died right there. It'd been perfect.
Right.
So I went down after dinner one night when I was off and watched the game with our daughter. She was 2 or 3 years old. And at the end of the they play the One Shining Moment theme at the end of the NCAA tournament. And Krzyzewski is hugging one of his players, William Avery. And the next night at dinner, our daughter's like, Dad, can we go watch the hug? Can we go watch the hug? I'm like, what? Can we go watch the hug? And she's like, yeah, the hug, and it took a while to figure out what it was. And this went on for like a week after dinner every night. Can we go watch the hug? Didn't want to watch the game, want to watch the hug. Yeah. And so it'd been 20 years since I talked to Krzyzewski or anything. I ended up sitting down and writing him a letter and letting him know how what happened had an impact on our daughter. Never, he's Coach K. 2 weeks later, I get a handwritten note from him thanking me for writing him, talking about how close he gets to his players and stuff like that. And all I could take away was that was just pure class. That's all, that was class. And I was like, I want to be like that. I want to be that kind of person that, I haven't talked to you in 20 years, but you reach out to me, I'm going to respond. I'm not too big or too good to be able to do that. So that's just a story that came to mind when you asked that question.
Nice, Coach K. Nah, that's big time. Like, come on, man. Yeah.
Well, he wasn't Coach K when he was at Army.
Right.
He hadn't gotten to the Coach K, just like Jordan hadn't gotten to the GOAT status. When he was his freshman year. So.
Yeah, definitely. No, that's an amazing story. That's amazing that he reached out to you about your daughter and everything, and a handwritten note.
Yeah, not something typed up that he signed or anything like that. It's just something that he sat down and wrote it himself. It was great. Still have it.
That's cool.
Man, you got to frame it, put it on the wall.
Yeah. I still, honestly, I have every single letter that he sent me when he was recruiting me in college, when he was at Army.
Wow.
So
that's crazy.
It was cool. And I also have, and you guys might like this, I also have a signed letter. I was recruited by, and I'm almost ashamed to admit this, Dick Vitale.
Oh, really?
Shake and bake in the paint, baby. No. He was at the head coach in the University of Detroit. Yeah.
Dick
Vitale. Dickie V.
He's still going too.
He is.
Yeah, he's still
90 years old. So.
He's 90?
No, I don't.
Oh yeah, well, yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Might as well be.
Right. Wow, that's amazing. Thank you for sharing that. Let me ask you, who's your favorite basketball player all time?
Bill Walton.
Bill Walton.
I'll tell you a quick story. So when I had my own room when I was in 8th grade in high school, and I had twin beds, and I literally would take the Sports Illustrateds, that had Walton in it and UCLA, and I would lay them out on the bed that I didn't sleep in. And every night before practice or a game, I would lay out all my, my jock, my shorts, my, socks, my warm up, everything on those photos, and then get up the next morning and pack my bag and off to practice I went. It was almost like I was trying to get, the mojo, to come out of the pictures and, get into my uniform. But yeah, Bill Walton was, I loved him in college.
Yeah. Nice.
Kind of goofy now, but I loved him.
I see.
So Bill Walton was he was your favorite. What team did you like him on?
UCLA.
Celtics, Clippers.
Yeah, I liked him on the Celtics.
Okay.
When he was in the pros, I liked him on the Celtics, and I've listened to some documentaries on ESPN about how he kind of fired the Celtics up and got him another championship just by being Bill Walton. So the guy's a proven winner. So I'll tell you, one of the best books I ever read was when I was in 8th grade, and it was his coach's, John Wooden's biography. They Call Me Coach, and and there's a story in there about Walton. Wooden had a hair standard. You can't have your hair below your ears and stuff like that. And Walton was an All-American. And he walked in one day and said, "Coach, I'm not cutting my hair." Coach Wooden was like, "Well, Bill, I hope you enjoy the game from the stands." And it's like, I'll call your bluff. I'll call your bluff. So.
Wow, Bill Walton.
Yep.
Yeah, I still see him on. He's still calling games like college games sometimes.
Yeah,
Like
most of he does the West Coast games, the
West
stuff like
Coast,
that, the later
Gonzaga and
games.
all that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Arizona.
yep,
Yeah,
yep,
Arizona.
Arizona.
Yeah,
Yep.
but I did play against Isaiah Thomas in high school. We were in the same conference.
Zeke. Wow.
That's
Zeke.
crazy.
That's big time.
You
I
cross
mean, he
paths
played
with a
against
lot of,
Jordan too, though. He played Jordan
yeah,
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, that was one great thing about being in Chicago. The basketball, the competition was amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
all kinds of people that went on and, played at Iowa, played, it was just great.
Yeah. Wow. Like you just from basketball, you've had an amazing life.
I've been very lucky.
Yeah,
I'm very
definitely.
grateful for what I've had, and even though I've been battling cancer for 9 years, I don't think
Yeah,
I would change that. I mean, it has made me a better person to have
definitely.
to deal with this disease.
Yeah, and you've just been, helping others and being selfless. So that's amazing in itself. And you've shared gems with us on here, like a lot of gems. So I hope people that's watching, whoever's watching our little fan base,
Sure.
they take the gems that you dropped and everything. Definitely.
I mean, I always say that, if our conversation makes a difference in one person's life,
Yeah,
tonight's been a good night.
definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we see a couple people watching, so or people hopefully they can watch it back. What'd you say, Quinn?
I said we got a crowd though. We have some people watching.
Yeah.
Someone actually said something earlier.
Yeah, yep.
Oh,
You said
yeah.
good stuff, guys. Yep. Appreciate that. Thank you for the comment. So yeah, hopefully y'all take what Terry has been just providing his gems and everything about his life, about his resiliency and just staying motivated and controlling your mind and your 4 myths and your book. A great read. Definitely. Hopefully it'll help others, and it already has and everything.
Sure will. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So we always ask. So we're called Recipe for Intentionality, and we always ask, what's your recipe to success? So what's your recipe going after success? Is it like different ingredients? We say like, is it 20 pounds of confidence and infinite amount of God, or like what ingredients would you say is your recipe to success, and just your recipe for controlling your mind and just staying strong?
I think certainly my 3 truths or my 4 truths and my, the 3 F's: faith, family, and friends. And I'll give you the best definition of success that I've ever heard. And it goes back to John Wooden, who, coached at UCLA. And I think it's, he won 7 national championships in a row. I mean, it's almost impossible to win 2 in a row now. The parity is so good. But I mean, the guy was probably known more for his pyramid of success, and it was building blocks that he felt were important to, for people to learn and master to be successful. And I'll give you his definition of success. And it's this: success is peace of mind, which is a direct result of self-satisfaction in knowing that you did the best to become the best that you're capable of becoming. And here's one of the most successful coaches of all time. Not once in there does it mention winning. It's peace of mind, knowing you did the best to become the best you're capable of becoming. We're not all born with the same gifts and talents, but we all have the ability to become the best person that we're capable of becoming.
That's amazing. I have to check out that book that he wrote. What's it called? They call me Coach.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a great, I mean, from his upbringing in the farm of Indiana and what his dad gave him, and just a great book.
Definitely, that's amazing. Yeah, that's the recipe right there. That's another gem. Definitely,
there you go.
Definitely. Yeah,
There you go. Dropping
them, and we appreciate it. Yeah, drop all the gems. Yeah, definitely. all through this chat, it's been gems dropped. So, just thank you so much for your story and being selfless and just telling us everything about, you and just overcoming your struggles and, helping others. So it was amazing.
Well,
Definitely.
thank you for having me. If
Yeah.
you wouldn't mind, could I just leave you with one more story?
Yeah, definitely.
So,
Yes.
always been a big fan of Westerns growing up, Cowboys and Indians. My mom and dad used to let me stay up and watch Gunsmoke and Wild Wild West.
Yeah.
1993, you guys probably saw this, the movie Tombstone came out.
Oh,
And it
yeah,
starred,
Wyatt Earp.
Val Kilmer as a man by the
Yeah.
name of John Doc Holliday, and Kurt Russell by a man by the name of Wyatt Earp.
Yeah.
And Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday were two living, breathing human beings that walked on the face of the earth. They're not made up characters for the movie. Now, Doc was called Doc because he was a dentist by trade, but pretty much Doc Holliday was a card shark and a gunslinger. And Wyatt Earp, most of his life, had been a lawman. And these two men from entirely divergent backgrounds formed this very close friendship. And at the end of the movie, Doc is dying at a sanitarium in Glenwood Springs, Colorado. And that's about 3 hours from my house. The real Doc Holliday died at that sanitarium. He's buried in the Glenwood Springs cemetery. And Wyatt, at this point in his life, is destitute. He has no money. He has no job. He has no prospects for a job. So every day he comes to play cards with Doc to while away the time. And the two men are talking about what they want out of life. And Doc says, I was in love with my cousin when I was younger, but she joined a convent over the affair, but she's all I ever wanted. And he looks at Wyatt and he says, what about you, Wyatt? What do you want? And Wyatt kind of nonchalantly says, I just want to lead a normal life. And Doc looks at him and says, there's no normal, there's just life, and get on with living yours. And, you guys know, I know, there are people that are just sitting back and they're like, well, when this happens, I'll have a normal life. Or when that happens, I'll have a successful life. Or when this happens, I'll have an influential life. I guess what I tell your audience is don't wait. Don't wait for life to come to you. Get out there, find the reason you were put on the face of this earth, and live that reason. Because I promise you, at the end of your life, if you do that, you'll have a whole lot more peace and you'll be a whole lot happier. And I'll end it at that.
That's great.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, that was amazing. Yeah,
story, man.
Yeah, that's amazing. Like my mom, she loved that movie. Like I grew up.
It's a great movie. Yeah.
Yeah, she always used to watch it. I'm just like, it's kind of cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. I was like, oh, Wyatt Earp and like Doc Holliday, and I would study like they were like real people. I didn't know when I was younger, but she always used to watch that movie. So it's a great movie though.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Even when it's on reruns, I'll watch it.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Tombstone, and that's there. That was another gem, another great story. Everybody check it out. Run it back. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, get out there and live your life. Don't wait and everything. That was amazing. This whole chat has been amazing. You got fellas, you got any other, anything you want to say or anything or any questions or?
I just say that this interview was great. I mean,
yeah.
Everyone needs to hear what you have to say because, I mean, it helps everyone in their everyday life. So I thank you for that.
Thank you, Quinn. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Yeah. Terry, I admire your courage, with everything that you're facing. I also admire how you seem to reinvent yourself. You've had several careers. I respect that. You were saying like the police force and define you. A lot of people get defined by their jobs and they're scared to do something else. So they really that's their identity. And so I respect that you've been true to yourself and you're living a great life, man. You're blessed. And thank you for your story.
Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
No, thank you, Terry, for your story. Wish you the best and praying for you and your family and everything. And yeah, definitely. We appreciate you coming on. Whenever you want to come back, when you write the second book or whenever you want to come back, just come on, just whenever, just let us know. Yeah, definitely.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah. Thank you for coming on. We appreciate it. This has been a great chat and hope, everybody take in what Terry is saying, all the gems dropped, it'll help you in life. So we appreciate it. Definitely.
Thank you.
Definitely. Yeah. Thank you. So yeah, again, come back anytime. Oh, Terry's a link to Terry's website and his book are in the description. Everybody check them out. Please run this interview back. We appreciate y'all watching. Again, Terry, it's been a pleasure. Whenever you want to come back, let us know.
I will do that. You guys
Take
take care.
You as well.
Good night.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
All right, Terry.
You too.
All right. Man. So fellas, another one down. That was dope.
That was a powerful episode, really. I feel
Yeah,
Sure
yeah.
was, man.
Yeah, definitely. We
was.
gotta chop it up. You know what I'm saying? And you know,
Got some good chops going on right here,
some
man.
chops. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Good chops. Yeah. So bros, 14 going on 15. I don't know, man. This is getting. You know what I'm saying?
Still strong.
We getting it. So, man, appreciate y'all, man, just for always being on, man. You know. So
Definitely.
yeah, we're doing it.
Sir.
Yeah. Y'all want to say anything before we go, or what y'all got?
Yeah, of course, man. If anybody found any value in this conversation we had, like, thumbs up, subscribe,
All right.
all of that.
Leave
a comment.
Appreciate it. Leave a comment. Yep. Like, subscribe. Tell a friend of a friend of a friend. You know what I'm saying? Tell your fam. All of that. We appreciate you supporting. Appreciate you checking it out. Thank you. Definitely. What you got, Quinn Raps?
I got nothing right now. I mean, I'm still taking in everything that I was just hearing because, you know, like I said to him, it's stuff that everyone needs to hear. So it's just, it's crazy. But
Yeah.
You know what's funny,
nice.
man? Like it seemed like Terry got dealt some bad cards, but you know, I know it was hard going through it, but it doesn't seem like he complained about it or let it get him down. You know, he kept it moving. So a lot of people really need to hear that.
Yeah, because people love to complain. That's just what people do. But man, just like he said, like he was in pain, but he said just go through the pain. Like a lot of people don't want to do that. A lot of people don't want to feel discomfort. You know, like he was saying. So that's real talk. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, definitely. What was I gonna say? Yeah, man, that was cool, man. That was amazing. I think that's that, man. We're gonna, we cover that, y'all, every Sunday. You know what I'm saying?
With another one.
Another one.
Another
one. You know what I'm saying? Hey, if we bring any value to y'all, let us know. Comment, like, subscribe. You know, it's always fun. It's always insightful. So that's what we do. So, all right, y'all. Goodbye, everybody. See you guys later. All right, everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, with the peace, man.
Hey! The car right out the window, yo. I cannot pretend, oh yeah. Right on for the darkness, that's your candlelight vigil, nigga. Hey. And they say, yo, do y'all.